In college, my friends and I would turn on FIFA and put all the settings and sliders as high as possible. We called the game Speedball, and it was a great drinking game because every shot that you took went 5,000 miles an hour into the top bins, and every player that you had on the team sprinted at Mach speed. But when I turned on the game the next day with a very casual hangover to play my career mode, it didn't feel quite as fun. Things were way too easy. And the US Women's National Team are on the brink of entering their casual hangover era, making things a bit too easy to the point where it does beg the question, do games lose meaning? They are unprecedented, dominating. The USA Women's Team stands on the brink of an achievement that has never been done before in the entire sport's history, winning 3 World Cups in a row, back to back to back. But what if they do that? Will this make them the ultimate champions, or will it break the very game that they love? This video is about more than just a preview of the 2023 World Cup. It's a dive into a potential historical moment, a look at those who dare to challenge the 4-time champions, and a journey to uncover the real impact of one nation's reign on the beautiful game. Meet Team USA, a nation that has won exactly half of the World Cups that have ever been held for the women's game. That is an insane stat. And while the rest of the world has caught up in the last few years with huge improvements across Europe, Asia, South America, and even Africa, the US still remains the favorites for this tournament. The European champion Lionesses, the 2-time World Cup champions Germany, and even the host nation with one of the most legendary players of all time in Sam Kerr might not be able to stop the unstoppable force that is the US Women's National Team. Now before I dive in, I have something to say on this, and I am so fed up and tired of the ridiculous comments that I see on every women's soccer post on Instagram, on YouTube, even on my channel, and every other social media platform. If you don't like women's soccer, that is absolutely fine. Nobody is forcing you to look at these posts, to watch this video. Nobody is forcing you to do that. You have the right and the freedom to just scroll on past. But if I see any comments that are, nobody cares about women's soccer, or Megan Rapinoe ruined America, I'll be deleting your comment and banning you from making future comments on the channel because I love US soccer, and that absolutely includes the women's team. And if you're not at least willing to tolerate other people enjoying something, then unsubscribe and don't watch another video of mine because this community is not for you. This community is for people that love US soccer, including the women's game. The US Women's National Team took their bumps and bruises in the run-up to the World Cup, especially in that 2021 Olympics where they finished 3rd and lost in the group stage 3-0 to longtime rival Sweden. In 2022, last year, the squad lost 3 straight matches for the first time in 30 years after poor results against Germany, Spain, and England. In the last few months, however, the team seems to have gotten right back on track, able to inject new blood like Sophia Smith and Trinity Rodman, while building on that legendary core of Alex Morgan, Lindsey Horan, and Megan Rapinoe. There was one player, though, whose return to the professional game may just have saved the US Women's National Team and bolstered their chances this summer, and that player is Julie Ertz. For an extended period of time, it seemed the presence of Julie Ertz on the field for this summer's World Cup would remain a distant memory and pipe dream for fans. Reports from the technical department at the US persistently hinted at granting Ertz the liberty to gradually step back onto the pitch slowly. A conspicuous gap of exactly 600 days had elapsed when Ertz received the summons to rejoin the squad in April. Manager Vlatko Andonovski placed an emphasis on Ertz earning her place back on the team, a journey that would take root not only in the training grounds, but also in the domain of the NWSL once again. As part of Angel City FC in Los Angeles, she has been having a resurgence this season, rapidly reminding spectators of her capacity to wreak havoc through set pieces, evidenced by her inaugural goal for Angel City FC. The unresolved equation for the US Women's National Team midfield has monopolized narratives over the past 2 years. Nevertheless, Ertz's role at the helm of the central midfield in front of the defense makes it easy to appreciate Andonovski's patience for her return. She is unflinchingly unafraid to seize or forcefully reclaim the ball defensively, and nearly invincible in aerial duels during corner kicks and other set pieces. Ertz has cemented herself as an indispensable asset within the team's ranks. Her recent club minutes might be few and far between and difficult to judge, honestly, but a close examination of her engagement in the league and cup illustrates her proficiency in holding the fort in front of that back line as a defensive midfielder in a 4-2-3-1. With 22 other incredible players around her, Ertz may just be the missing link to lifting the trophy for the 3rd time in a row. But who is it that might dethrone the United States? European champions England will have something to say before the end of the tournament, and they may say it quite loudly. Even without major stars Fran Kirby, Leah Williamson, and Beth Mead due to injury, England will come into this tournament as one of the favorites if the USA can't get it done. And if they're going to do it, they'll be getting help from forward Chloe Kelly, who scored the winning goal in their European final. Mirroring the famed celebratory style of Brandi Chastain with her sports bra on display and shirt whirling triumphantly overhead, Chloe Kelly's match-winning goal and striking celebration in the European Championship final engraved her name in the annals of women's soccer history. Emerging from an 11-month hiatus after an ACL injury, where have we heard that before? Kelly marked her return to the pitch in April 2022. Characterized by her former coach Willie Kirk as a blend of fire and ice, the 25-year-old exhibits an intense competitive streak, even leading to a rare training ground skirmish. Yet exudes calm in high-stakes situations, as evidenced by her definitive finalissima penalty against Brazil in April. As an electrifying winger, Kelly's unpredictability on the field leaves defenders grasping at straws. With adept skill in both feet, her approach extends beyond just the direct attack, incorporating artful deception, coordinated play, and strategic movement to her advantage. She loves to attack deep in enemy territory, getting to the end line and whipping in crosses while defenders are running at their own net. Only 3 WSL players have exceeded Kelly's impressive average of 4.2 chances created per 90 minutes. The Manchester City forward attributes her fearlessness on the field to that ACL injury, with her best performances yet to come. Her fluid style, unbounded spirit, creative prowess, and tenacity in overpowering opponents have established her as a force to be reckoned with on the international stage. The former Chelsea winger Gemma Davison said, "She is the player I would willingly pay to watch week after week." England are currently at 4-1 odds to win it all and will need Kelly to show up in a big way if they're going to lift the trophy. Now, the betting odds tend to be a pretty good indication for a team's chances, as there is real money riding on these decisions. And the betting markets have put Spain just behind England at 6-1. And if you think the US received a boost to their chances with the return of Julie Ertz, Spain received a jolt of their own with the return of the mercurial goal scorer Alexia Putellas. Put simply, she is the best player in the world right now. The 29-year-old is the winner of the last 2 Ballon d'Ors and is a complete attacking machine, by far outpacing everyone on a relentlessly offensive Barcelona Femení squad with 34 goals in the 21-22 season. The only thing is, she's also just coming back from an ACL injury suffered just before the 2022 Euros. Now, if she can come back fully healthy, Spain will be a problem for everyone. But if she's not quite the same as she once was, things will get a bit easier for all of the other teams in the tournament. That's not to say she's the only talent on this Spanish squad. Stout defenders Irene Paredes and Ona Batlle await anyone who dares enter the box. And classically trained Barcelona midfielder Aitana Bonmati will pull the strings from the middle. And while Germany and France will have their say as well, I want to highlight a true dark horse in this race, the Matildas. And no, I'm not just picking them because they have the best nickname in the tournament, but because they are a fiercely balanced squad who have beaten big teams and will play in front of sold-out 70,000 person crowds, urging them on each time that they play. In fact, just this April, the Matildas beat England 2-0 in England. Yes, that same English team that are second favorites to win it all. Sam Kerr will be the goal scorer that most are familiar with, but she'll be protected in the back by Ellie Carpenter, a defender that combines incredible speed and stamina. But Sam Kerr will also be playing alongside one of the game's greatest young talents, 20-year-old Mary Fowler. After receiving her first cap for Australia at just 15 years old, Fowler has gone on to score 10 goals in 37 caps for her country. She exhibits a reassuring ease in controlling the ball, delivering shots with either foot, and making her mark with headers as well. Comfortably fitting into the role of a pure number 9 striker, she can also tactically shift deeper to complement the style of a striker like Sam Kerr, and her knack for the perfect timing, whether a late arrival in the box or finding pockets of space around the box's periphery for mid-range shots, has proven fruitful at both youth and senior stages. Her keen awareness and vision in confined spaces allows her to masterfully maneuver away from center backs, either to extricate herself from challenging situations or to set up teammates for goal opportunities. Even within a team brimming with attacking prowess, Fowler's contribution to Australia is noteworthy. Her collaborative work with Sam Kerr and her individual goal-scoring proficiency add a significant edge to the team, allowing them to rapidly capitalize when pushing opponents to their limits. Now, the persistent narrative of the global football community closing the gap on the Americans has, for better or worse, always been part of the conversation in women's soccer. Following the US Women's National Team's triumphant home soil victory in 1999, subsequent World Cups seemed to provide some validity to these claims, as the US suffered consecutive semifinal losses in 2003 and 2007, suggesting that their era of dominance was waning. However, their recent performances, with appearances in 3 consecutive finals and securing 2 of those, has dramatically shifted the narrative back. This period could arguably be considered the golden age of the US Women's National Team, and as they approach 2023, the pertinent question is whether they can navigate a generational transition while holding their position at the summit of the footballing world. Long-standing pillars of the team, Tobin Heath, Becky Sauerbrunn, Carly Lloyd, and Kristen Press, who all participated in the 2019 tournament, are missing from this 2023 roster. Megan Rapinoe is set to play her final World Cup, having announced her retirement at the conclusion of the 2023 NWSL season. Among the 23 players selected for this squad, 9 have previous World Cup exposure, a figure that increases to only 11 if we account for Olympic experience as well. So basically, we're asking if it's good or bad if the US Women's National Team wins the World Cup for the 3rd time in a row, right? Well, I think there's 2 ways that you can look at it. On one hand, it's amazing. The women's national team shows how powerful a women's soccer team can be if you put time, money, and energy into it. Their success tells a great story that can motivate other teams all around the world to push for the same and compete. It can even help convince people to put more money and support into women's soccer globally, a trend that we've been seeing more of. On the other side, though, there is a bit of a downside, because if the US Women's National Team keeps winning all the time, it might feel like no one else can ever catch up. This might put a bit of a damper on things and make other countries less excited to put effort into their own teams. After all, who really wants to play a game if you don't feel like there's a chance of winning? Ideally, we would have lots of different teams winning the World Cup, and this would show that it's anyone's game, which would make the tournaments even more exciting and encourage more countries to get involved in women's soccer. Is the US Women's National Team winning again good or bad? I think it depends on how hungover you want to be after a few rounds of Speedball. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like down below for women's soccer so this can spread to more people. And let me know down below in the comments who you think is going to win this tournament. And if you don't know, whatever, leave an emoji because, engagement. Now, you also might have noticed that I didn't discuss many of the incredible talents in the world of women's soccer like Viviana Maidema, Catarina Macario, Fran Kirby, and more. If you want to find out why we won't be seeing some of the best talent in the world on display this summer, you can watch this video next, and I hope you enjoy the 2023 Women's World Cup, which starts tomorrow morning.